Hey everyone, Tony here. I'm at World CryptoCon and I have Jamie from Securitize, a company that provides security token offering services. Is that correct, Jamie?
Yeah, so we provide a platform to run a full digital securities offering. So everything you need to do end to end in order to launch digital security.
Got it. Now everyone, if you recall, I've been touching on this topic lately. I did a video talking about STOs and why that's the future of asset-backed tokens. So Jamie, if a company wanted to raise funding that way and do that STO, what's the process involved that as far as your service that you provide?
Yeah, definitely. So if you go, so there's a bunch of steps to it. So an STO is very different from an ICO insofar as you need like an offering memorandum or a subscription agreement. You're going to need a way to onboard investors, to do KYC, AML, and accreditation, to verify who they are based on where they're investing from well, which is really important. And then so once you know where they're from, who they're investing, and they sign the agreements, and they can send the money. And one of the other unique things about this is you can actually invest in fiat, so US dollars or euros, as well as crypto. So it's not just a crypto investment mechanism.
Interesting. And obviously, even using fiat or crypto, I would get issued a token for the value that I hold.
Correct. Yeah. So essentially what happens is you'll get an ERC20 compatible token that'll have a few other controls on it, controlling who they can be transferred to and how.
Oh, wow.
And then that token actually will represent. It's a digital representation of the assets of the security. So all of the information is actually hashed as part of that. And then there's a compliance layer that makes sure how it's traded and to whom.
So you mentioned compliance. I'm sure this has SEC written all over it. So you guys obviously take care of all that aspect with the Securities and Commissions and the regulations around that.
Yeah. So almost all of our customers are filing in the U.S. under 506 Reg D, 506C, and then a Reg S. And these are exemptions. One of the popular misconceptions is that the SEC is approving these things. The fact is they are not SEC approved. They're an exemption, which means you file for that, and then you're able to raise capital against it, but it's not that the SEC put any sort of stamp on it. It's a big miscommunication in the space.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I'm glad you clarified that because I was personally under that impression as well.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Interesting. So obviously you can't name names, but as far as the different clients that you're working with, can you talk a bit about what industries or verticals they're in and what type of funding you guys have raised?
So we have a number of different customers. So I would say they fall into three buckets. One would be real estate business, right? So if you want to tokenize a building or a commercial real estate or some sort of revenue generating property, it's a really good option for you. Another one is venture funds and hedge funds and things of that nature. This is a really great way to create a liquid venture fund, which is a whole new asset, which is actually how I got into the space. And then finally you have operating businesses, so companies who you know and love and who operate today. And it's best suited to companies that already have what's known as product market fit. So if you just have an idea on a white paper, this is not a great option for you.
Right.
Because you need to think about this almost as if you were going public. So you're going to have to continue to communicate with investors, share information with them, and manage liquidity. A lot of the ICOs that went out earlier didn't think about managing liquidity. And what that means is like communicating with your investors, telling them what's going on, driving like real trades in the space based on real information.
Right.
And so this is a little bit different that way.
Very interesting. Can you give a ballpark number of like maybe some of the funding or the largest you guys?
Sure. I mean, we have we have some interesting projects. Like for example, we have one customer who has a Bitcoin mining operation in upstate New York. Really interesting, and the token actually is an ERC20 token, but it pays a daily dividend of Bitcoin based on what gets mined.
Really?
Which is really cool.
Wow.
And so that's a 435 megawatt facility in upstate New York. And so you guys can go and do the math and figure out how big that is, but it's definitely 9 figures. We have another company that's raised 9 figures using our platform. So one of the things, we don't raise money for the people. They have to go out and do it themselves. We'll work with like broker-dealers in the U.S. and things like that.
Got it.
But there's, a good size for this type of deal that's realistic is probably $20 to $30 million.
Right.
Unless you're a really exceptional company with a very exceptional brand.
Got it. So me, as a common man, average investor, if I wanted to participate in this in investing in that mining company, do I just go to your site and set up an account and go through the whole process, so to speak?
Well, yeah. So you go to the company that's selling you the security.
Okay, got it.
You go to their site, right? So,
Got
for
it.
example, some of the securities we've already issued are 22X Fund, Blockchain Capital, or Spice VC. These are three ones that we've already issued and are live on chain.
Sure.
So before the offering had been completed, you could go there, you could complete the subscription agreement, and then buy into the offering.
Got it. And can you talk a bit about, I personally think this is the future
Yeah.
in fundraising and moving beyond ICOs to STOs. We've heard some rumors about the NASDAQ, and that's the end goal, so to speak, versus, the current crypto assets that are in place. Can you talk a bit about that and what you guys think will happen, 2019, 2020?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's 2019, 2020 type of stuff for sure. So right now where we are in the digital security space, if you look at and you try to compare it to ICOs, is imagine if you had to buy into something that would never have any guaranteed liquidity. Because right now there's no real marketplace that's launched. There's a number of them that are on the cusp. Companies like Open Finance or T0, SharesPost is another one.
Sure.
And they're all just on the cusp of launching.
Right.
And then there'll be liquidity. So we'll see a lot better capital formation at that point.
Right.
But those are kind of the first steps. And then we'll see kind of more exchanges come online internationally. And then from there, we'll see fully public companies be able to offer the exact same thing on the exact same exchanges. It's going to take a few years to get there, but I feel like the ability to know who owns your shares, how they moved, who they moved between, and when, and under what conditions is really, really valuable. And I think the regulators around the world will see that and will realize that the ability to have this on-chain, on a public blockchain, not a private blockchain, a public blockchain will be invaluable to them.
Wow. Very cool. Actually, I just remembered one question I should have asked. You mentioned that a lot of the tokens are ERC20. So as far as storage and wallet services, what are the options available?
Any of your standard ERC20 compatible wallets will work with this. You don't need anything special. That's one of the things that we've really focused on is instead of going and trying to develop a new blockchain, a new protocol, let's just make it work in the infrastructure that exists today so that it can have the most reach possible.
Interesting. Now, if folks want to learn more about the service you provide, what's your website?
Our website is securitize.io.
Yeah,
and we also have a newsletter which is becoming more popular. It's called The Protocol, and it's available on our site, and also protocol.news. It's probably one of the better ones in the space. We try to be pretty unbiased, so we'll report on all the companies in the space.
Sure.
We have a third party do it. We're just there to kind of educate and inform.
Cool. So everyone, I'll put a link in the description so you guys can easily click through it and go learn more. Jamie, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Cool. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you as well.
Cheers.